Chris Davis, MP for Brecon and Radnorshire, has been unseated after a recall petition, which reached 10,005 signatures, was signed to remove him as the constituency's Tory MP. Chris Davis is the third person to be hit with a petition to recall his seat, and only the second person to successfully be unseated. The first being Fiona Onasanya, who lied about a speeding offence and was expelled by the Labour Party for it, before she was then unseated after a petition. Now, it is not the number of signatures so much that matters, it's the percentage of the ballot for the constituency that determines whether someone can be unseated or not. The threshold is 10%. 10,005 signatures in this constituency equates to 19% of the ballot. Now, Chris Davis does intend to re-stand for this Tory seat should the Conservatives in the council area believe him to be a viable option, because he wants to regain the people's trust. The petition was triggered after he was convicted of an offence concerning how photos of his office in his constituency were invoiced. What Davis tried to do was split the £700 worth of pictures between two office budgets by creating fake invoices. When in April he was sentenced for this, he did openly apologise and accept responsibility. He was fined £1,500 and made to do 50 hours of community service. He has been an MP since 2015, when he beat the incumbent Liberal Democrat Roger Williams, which is unsurprising. The Liberal Democrats were all but wiped out in 2015 after the travesty that was them agreeing to a coalition government. Anything for power, right? That integrity, though. He won by 5,000 votes, a rather substantial majority, 10% of the ballot essentially. In 2017, with the snap election, which was a travesty for the Conservatives, his majority rose to 8,000. Quite majority. It, at that point, could be argued to be a safe seat. With all that has happened to Chris Davis, potential Prime Minister Jeremy Hunt has in fact shown support for him with this tweet. The Liberal Democrat candidate and current Welsh Party leader Jane Dodds said the following: "Thousands of residents across Brecon and Radnorshire had taken the chance to demand better than a Westminster politics that failed to take their concerns seriously." And a spokesman for Welsh Labour, who have selected Brecon Town Councillor Tom Davis, said, "The recall result is another huge blow to Chris Davis's credibility to serve as a Member of Parliament. This is a mess all of his making," which it absolutely is. They've also said that the Tories must not drag their feet and call for an immediate by-election. Unsurprising, with the way politics are going, the Brexit Party chairman Richard Tice was also asked for a little comment, and he said that the sheer-scaled vote to force a recall and a by-election shows how strongly the level of dissatisfaction with politics in the country is rising up the agenda. Not necessarily true, but also, yes, maybe you have a point. An argument could be made that these people feel like the Conservatives and Labour are no longer a viable option, or they feel betrayed by the politician and what he did. I guess it depends on whether or not they voted to leave or remain, I guess. Which, in this instance, they voted to leave. So an argument could be made that the Brexit Party is quite right in its assertion that people have gotten so agitated by what has happened and obviously alienated that they are starting to move in that direction. If Brexit Party do intend to contest the seat, I wish them nothing but the very best. Now, the most important question with regards to what happens next is in fact what happens now. To make this move, the Conservative Party have to enact what is called moving the writ. What they have to do is make a request to the House of Commons Speaker John Bercow. This usually happens within 3 months of a vacancy arising. Once MPs have agreed, the writ is issued to the constituency's returning officer. A by-election is then held within 21 to 27 days of the writ being issued. It is expected that the Brecon and Radnorshire Conservative Party will meet soon to discuss whether Mr Davis will stand for them or not. Considering the nature of what he's done, I'm not sure if they'll want to keep him or not. The petition is huge against him, but that could also just have been signed by people who aren't even Conservative voters. Simply people from other parties who said, "Go away." so I guess it depends on whether they want to take the risk. It was, for the longest time, the constituency, a Liberal Democrat safe seat, but I don't believe they can win it back. I don't believe they have enough oomph. They have certainly shown gains in the EU elections that we should never have been involved in, but in Parliament I'm not convinced. I guess it will come down to whether or not they want to stick to the constituency, that is, if they want to stick with the same old politics, or if they want to try something new. If Chris Davis does get selected by the Conservatives, they're going to have to get very creative on this campaign, and I do think the party leaders will get involved, just because if a new Prime Minister is elected by then, or chosen, chances are they will want to be there to show they are in charge. If it is Boris against Corbyn, it could become quite tasty, even if it is a constituency in the middle of Wales, of all places.